guys, we are back, and today we're doing our album review. And I'm not wearing my migraine glasses, and I don't have to read any lyrics, and it's not gonna fuck with my eyes, but I'm probably gonna end up putting them on if I can't handle it. But we're gonna try.
Yes.
Okay, so do you wanna just go through the songs like we usually do? We've done this like 3 or 4 times already, and I forget how to do it every single time.
Yeah, I
I
think
like start, I'm like, what are we doing?
yeah, I think we do it differently every time. So I have the track list up here.
Okay.
So we'll go through it. This is Encore by Eminem. It's his fourth album with Aftermath, Dr. Dre. Um, so we'll quickly go over the songs. We'll maybe speak about them quickly,
Yeah.
talk about your favorites, and then I want you to rank. So this will be interesting. This is the fourth album. So we after the last one we ranked the previous three, right? But now
Yeah.
that time has passed, you probably don't remember them as well, but I want to see you rank them, including this one, in that order.
The
We'll see if it
albums?
changes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we could pull up the track list of those if we need.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to.
Okay. So we have here the track list.
Yes,
So
we do.
let's go. All right. So it starts up off with curtains up. You remember that? It's
Was that the
just
funny one? Was that like the shocking one?
no.
Like
So
where we were surprised and there was Ken Kniff at the end of it? That was that,
no,
wasn't it?
no. That was that. That was on the Eminem show, the end of the Eminem show.
Oh.
Yeah, so Curtains Up,
Everything's blending into one
I know,
another.
especially because it's Encore and then the Eminem show, so they have similar openings and,
Yeah.
closings of the albums. So yeah, you hear the curtains go up. And then the first song is Evil Deeds. You remember this?
Yeah. I don't know. We actually like quickly went through all the songs for me because I forget them every single time we do this. And I wrote a list. I actually have a full
In
list
order.
in order of what I like the most.
So do you want to go through that now, or
So,
do you want to just briefly
no,
discuss each song?
I'll tell you the number I put it.
So what do you remember about this song?
I put this as song 11. It's like in the middle. Um, say the chorus real quick.
So it's like, Father, please forgive me, for I know not what I
So
do.
it's got a really good beat.
Yeah.
And the chorus is interesting where he's like doing it's like Mary had a little lamb,
Right.
right?
Mama had a baby and it's hip hop dove, hip hop dove, hip
Yeah.
hop dove,
Like
hip
it's
hop
like
dove.
reminds me of like nursery rhyme
Yeah, and
esque.
yeah, and it's Debbie had a Satan spawned. Yeah,
Yeah. Which reminds me of Mary had a
yeah.
little
And
lamb,
then
little
so
lamb.
when we did the reaction to this, we discussed that I recently found out that Mary Had a Little Lamb was about Jesus. I was in
That
Catholic
does make so much
I was in
sense.
Catholic school my whole life, and I never heard that Mary had a little lamb. Obviously, Jesus is referred to as the Lamb of God, but I had no clue that it had religious
Lamb of God.
connotations. Yeah, and then so in the song, Mary had a little lamb. Debbie had Satan spawn.
And his mom is Debbie.
Yeah, so
So
good play
yeah,
on that.
it's a really good song. The chorus is good.
Yes,
It was done pretty well.
yeah, he gives the backstory about how everybody just his mom just dropped him off, and then the neighbors didn't want him, so they dropped him
Yeah, like
off
no one
and dropped,
wanted
and then
him.
he ended up with his aunt Edna and Charles, and then he talks about his childhood and growing up and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I like
it's
that
definitely
one.
interesting. I know a lot of people don't like this album from what you've told me and from seeing the views that we get on our reaction videos, it's kind of clear that a lot of people don't like this album
Yeah,
because they're not as good as our other views. So I will say that that's a pretty good song
yeah,
for an album that no one really likes.
yeah, for sure.
Like he was, from what you told me, he was doing drugs while he was making this album. And I
Yes.
think it's really impressive for someone who's on drugs because I have almost 7 years clean. And I will say that I couldn't even like tie my shoes when I was using, let
Yeah.
alone rap an album.
Yeah, so some people would say that this is his worst album. So even if you want to grant that, the worst Eminem album is still better than most people's regular albums,
Yeah.
skill
It's definitely
wise.
impressive.
There
Yeah.
was a bunch of singles and hits off of this album that
Oh,
are like
yeah. Like
all over.
actually, like three of my favorite Eminem songs that I know are on this album,
Yeah.
which is interesting because the other ones, there's only like one or two. So
Yeah.
your
Okay.
question from the beginning, at this rate, this one
Would this be your favorite album?
for it.
That's funny. All right,
Based
so
on that,
we'll move on to Never Enough featuring 50 Cent and Nate Dogg.
real quick recap of the chorus.
So what's Nate Dogg? He's like, no matter how many battles I've been in and won,
Oh, yes. Okay.
it's never enough.
I love Nate Dogg's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, he's got a really good voice. I like him in the chorus. I put this song as one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight. So it's
Interesting.
top. It's in the top, right? How many songs are here?
23 tracks,
Yeah, so it's in top.
including skits. So it's like 19, 18.
I put it in the top. I remember it. I like it. Um, I like the beat. Always really great
Yeah, the
beats.
beats are always incredible on these
But
albums.
tell me a quick brief of what it's about again.
So just that they're rapping, they're killing it.
Yeah.
No matter so the chord, no matter how many battles I've been in and won, no matter how many MCs I eat up, no matter how many magazines on my nuts, it's never enough.
Magazines.
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh, is that a double entendre?
What do you mean? Like
Like,
gun?
yeah, like no matter how many guns, like, I mean, it's like, well, like if you have your
Keep a.
gun in your lap while you're driving, or also like a magazine like on you to like interview you and like take photos of you for their issues.
Could be. Yeah, so I have the lyrics. I could give a fuck what category you place me, as long as I'm not pushing up daisies, as long as I'm as and gone as long as you place me amongst one of them greats. When I hit the
Yes.
heavenly gates, I'll be cool besides Jay-Z.
Yeah, this was a
So
great
yeah, this
song.
was a good one.
Definitely.
All right.
That's good.
Next, Yellow Brick Road. You
I
recall
didn't like
this?
this. I don't like this song.
So you remember the content of it though?
This is the one, this is the one without the chorus, right?
Um,
Or it was,
no, this
or it has like
has
not much of a
it has a
chorus.
chorus. Let's go back, follow the Yellow Brick Road as we go on another episode. Journey with me as I take you through this nifty little place that I once used to call home sweet home.
Yeah.
So this, he really went back. He brought you like his life story again, and then from like growing up in Detroit, the neighborhood, and then how he
Yeah.
met like Proof and stuff, and then
Oh,
they
right,
became
yes.
friends.
And he talks a lot about that, and he talks a lot about other rappers that influenced them, right?
So about
Or
well, yeah, he said he first met Proof with Goofy Gary, and
yeah,
then
he's talking about a lot of
and
things that
Big Daddy
I,
Kane. He mentioned,
yeah, like a lot where I'm like, who, what, like what's being talked about here? What's going on here? Like it's just a lot of things that were lost on me that you needed to explain or that we needed to
yeah,
look up. So I just couldn't really, I could respect that the rap was good, but like I just could not really get much out of it for me personally.
yeah.
So I put it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Out of Well,
out
no,
of
there's skits there, so I'm wondering.
19.
Okay, so you have that all the way at the bottom.
Yeah.
So the notable thing about this song, so I have like the lyrics just as we're going through. I'm just skipping through them.
Mhm.
So the second verse was about how in ninth grade he talks about MC Shan and then the
Yeah.
racism that he experienced as a white kid and how there was like anti-white rap music at the time, right?
Yes, but see, he's talking about Cool J, Ice Lamb,
So those are the
X
shoes.
Clan, Professor X,
Yeah.
Cactus albums, like a bunch
So that
of
was
things.
third
I
base.
just don't know what that is. So like half the time I'm listening to the song, I'm like, what's that? What's that? Like it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, so he spoke about that, about how like there was in the I guess late 80s, early 90s, there was a big like pro-black movement within hip hop that was like,
Yeah.
white people, this is our place. And how he felt excluded and racist. And then he goes on to address his leaking the leaked tape of the Foolish Pride Girl that came out,
Yeah,
and he had his own controversy. So this song, he directly addressed the tape that was leaked, and
yeah.
he
Apologizes
apologizes.
for making that song.
Yeah, and then he does it in a very clever way. He gets all serious in the third verse, and then he says, the last line of the song is, "People say they heard the tape and it ain't that bad, but it was. I singled out a whole race, and for that I apologize. I was wrong,
Yeah.
because no matter what color a girl is, she's still a hoe." Which that's like typical Eminem. He's being serious, but he's like
Yeah, like
making
he's
sure,
apologizing for the fact that it seems racist and maybe it was, whatever.
but
But
he's making a
also
joke at
that
the end.
like he still meant it to be mean to her because she screwed him over.
Yeah, and he's making a
Yeah,
joke
but he
about
didn't
it.
mean to like
Yeah, like he said,
target,
anybody,
yeah, a whole race.
Yeah, so that was the big, that was I would say the headline of that song, addressing
Mhm.
that tape. We
Yeah.
move on to Like Toy Soldiers.
Okay. Like toy soldiers. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Yeah.
In my seventh place.
So that has the sample from that 80s song, Step by
Yeah.
Step, Heart to Heart. And this was a creepy thing. So we have not watched any music videos. We're going through the music first and we're going to do it. But we discussed at this time when we did this song reaction that in the video, oddly enough, Proof is shot and dying in the
No.
hospital, and Eminem is at the hospital like crying. He's got blood all over him, and then like within a couple of years, that's like what actually happened. He did get shot and
Yeah.
killed. The whole theme of the song was about rap beef and how it's getting dangerous. It could it's turning into like real life stuff, and he doesn't want it to be violent. He
Yeah, like
wants
he
to
just wants
stay.
to rap and just wants to do what he's doing. Like he doesn't want it to keep like escalating to
Yeah. Yeah,
violence.
and he's saying like he's willing to stop if everybody else is, and but they are like toy soldiers, which is awesome imagery, and like
Mm.
people are just dying and it's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, I think this is a great song.
It's great
It's
for
awesome.
sure. It's not one of my favorites, but like you'll get to see why. But
What number did you say you had this one?
seven.
Okay.
7 out of 19, it's top. It's
Yeah.
in the top.
All right. Then we go on to Mosh.
Oh, I didn't love this one.
Yeah.
This is 12.
Yeah. So yeah, this is very anti-Bush.
Yeah,
It's a political
very political.
activist, like rebellion, political activism song, anti-war, which I found was interesting is that so he got shit for it at the time, you know what I mean? Like you had to have balls to be anti-war in 2004, so soon after
Yeah,
9/11. There was a lot of
because we were
patriotism.
all scared. We all wanted to,
Yeah,
fight for our country.
and when the US voted to go to war in Afghanistan, there's literally everybody from both parties, with the exception of one senator
That
who,
we're for it.
yeah, so
Yeah.
literally every Democrat, every Republican, with the
Mhm.
exception of one person, was like, yes, let's go to war.
Yeah.
And like, so he discusses it in this song that, like, oh, we're supposed to believe that we're not patriotic if we don't support this war in Iraq in particular. So, like I said, when we reacted to it in hindsight, history seems to favor where he was at the time,
Yeah.
because even the biggest like war hawks in the country today, they acknowledge that the Iraq war might have been a foolish mistake, or at least the way they did it was a mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's funny. I mean, Eminem got a lot of shit at the time
For making a
for,
song.
yeah, and being so anti-Bush and anti-war, but in hindsight, I guess he was onto something at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And like I said with this song, I don't like songs that are like solely focused on
yeah,
politics and like
overtly.
political ideology because like whether it lines up with mine or not, I don't go to music to listen to that.
Yeah, the political message.
Especially when like back in the day it wasn't as bad, but like politics are fucking everywhere now. On every news channel, it's in every TV show,
Yeah,
every conversation you have with someone, it like bleeds its way into it. And it's just like, you know what? If I'm gonna listen to music, I don't need it there also.
yeah, for
Yeah.
real. All right. Next, we move on to Puke,
Number two.
number two.
I fucking love that
Nice.
song.
Yeah, it's a great song. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a hate letter to Kim,
It's a
I
teenage
suppose.
angsty song.
It
Like,
is.
you have no idea. I'd be like pissed off at like some guy when I'm like 15 and I'm like, yeah, like
Puke.
puke, like not about to get another tattoo of your name on my arm, motherfucker. Not that I
Yeah,
even had one, but like that level of angst.
yeah. So it's another fuck you song to Kim. Hate you. You know, it's wild. It's funny. That's not even the only one on this album. Although there's kind of a little more, like we discussed. A few of the songs in here actually show a little bit of the positive of their relationship for a change.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I'm usually very repulsed by his bodily functions songs,
Yeah, the
but I think
sounds.
it's just anything that comes from his butt grosses me out.
The puke is
Puke I'm
whatever.
fine with. I'm fine.
That's funny.
It's fine.
All right. Yeah. Then we move on to my first single.
Oh God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13.
Really interesting that loud.
Yeah. Well, it's it's an interesting beat, but it's super chaotic
Crazy
and
good
it's
beat.
just a joke. It's like a joke of a song. Um, And while I love Puke, you said that Puke's kind of like a joke of a song. I don't take it that way.
It's not really a joke. It's,
Yeah, like more of like a humorous song, but I take it as just like a fuck you
yeah,
song,
I think it's more of a fuck you than it is. Because, like, so,
Yeah.
like, this batch from my first single, and then Rain
Mhm.
Man, and then Big Weenie, and then there's a skit, and then you go to Just Lose It, and then it's like that's kind of not really a joke, but kind of. But yeah, there's a big chunk of the album here that's like silly songs.
Yeah.
But out of all the silly songs, for me, this is my favorite. This fucking beat is insane. And I really do think that the idea of I'm imagining in my head, I don't know this for sure, is they had this album and they're like, all right, we need a fucking lead single for this album. And he had this beat. It's an incredible fucking beat.
Yeah.
And even though it's like silly, the way he rhymes and rides the beat is crazy.
Yeah.
And this is what he came up with. And then, the chorus, this was supposed to be my first single, but I just fucked that up,
And he's like farting and stuff. I don't like
Yeah, and
that.
the burping. And then yeah, but there is like very good like lyrical skill, like the
Yeah.
lyricism, the bars, like it's very there's even in this song, it's like very impressive.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Shady's the label, Aftermath is the stable that the horses come out of. We're about to stir up. Yeah, like that's
Yeah,
us.
those are pretty good. I remember that.
Yeah, there's some really good shit in here.
I can't remember. I remember when we were going over the joke songs and I said my favorites in order. I can't remember what order I said, but like after listening to them again, like this is my definitive order.
Yeah.
It might be different from what I said in other videos, but I had to really like hear each one
Yeah.
together to really judge.
Okay, so
Okay.
then next is the Paul skit where Paul calls Eminem and says Michael Jackson's not happy about the Just Lose It
So
video.
fun.
And then also, hey, I heard a rumor that you got a new gun. I'm sure that's not true,
I
but
love that.
it's a rumor going
Yes,
around.
I heard that you got a new gun.
Yeah.
But it's not true.
Yeah. And then it goes into Rain Man. You remember Rain Man?
Yeah, I put Rain Man as, hold on. I should have numbered these. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I didn't like it as much as my first single. I put it beneath We as Americans.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
whatever.
You'll find that out in a minute.
So this is a crazy song. It's shitting on Christopher Reeve, like throughout.
I feel so bad.
This is a song where he talks about it's his fault that he got paralyzed because he put the sticker of him on the refrigerator between Lex Luthor and Darth
Yes.
Vader.
What?
And he said, I killed Superman. I killed
I
Superman.
know. It's so crazy.
And then the title is Rain Man,
Yeah.
based on the movie. So Eminem saying he's Rain Man, pretty much saying he's an idiot savant. He's autistic and he's crazy, but he's really good at this. And like he has
Yeah.
these weird qualities. So he's making poking fun at himself, but then he's also fucking with Christopher Reeve for no reason. And then I don't know if you remember that the second verse here, I have the lyrics pulled up. He's like, in the Bible it says, "Thou shalt not watch two lesbians in bed,
Yes, I
have homo."
remember.
And then he does the whole thing. He's like, um, "Is it
Yeah,
gay
I
to
was like,
play
what
put?
the fuck is going
Is
on?
it gay to play putt golf with a friend and watch his butt while he tees off?" And then he's like, "What if his weenie flinched a little bit?" He's like, "Is that gay? I just need to clear things up. Till then, I'll just walk around with a manly strut,"
Yeah.
which is funny.
God.
And then
Okay.
third verse making fun of Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey.
Okay.
All right. Next up, Big Weenie.
Um, what did I say Rain Man was? Do you remember?
I don't.
Okay, recounting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay.
I don't love it.
Yeah, you're just jealous of me because you just can't do what I do.
Yeah.
So instead of admitting it, you walk around and say these really mean things because you're just a big weenie.
Big
Yeah.
meanie.
And then he just does the thing where he's putting people under hypnosis and why are you jealous? And yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
very
It's silly.
silly and chaotic.
I saw something on Twitter that apparently this song is trending on TikTok.
I go on TikTok frequently. I haven't seen that, but
I've
I guess.
I've never been on TikTok. I don't know. So that's just what I heard.
Yeah, weird.
All right. Next up is the M calls Paul skit where he's responding, he's speaking. Yeah, he's speaking with a vocoder and
Yeah.
he's naming all the Michael Jackson songs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So look at the man in the mirror.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, and then it goes into Just Lose It.
Oh, 4.
Before. Yeah.
To give it number 4 because the song was on the radio. I know it from my childhood or my young adulthood. I think I was in middle school, whatever. Like it was a big part of, that time. Like it was very popular for a long time. And it, you know, I just know it really well and it's hard for me to rate it lower.
Yeah,
It's definitely a joke song too.
it is.
It's
It was a
funny.
big
It's
hit.
clever.
But when we listened to this, I remember having the same reaction as when we broke down Without Me from the Eminem show, being like,
Yeah.
this song's actually better than I remember. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, it's a joke song. I don't really listen to it. But when I did, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there's some good stuff in here.
And you lose a lot of it when it's on the radio and you're just singing the words. You don't think about what it
Yeah,
means.
of course. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
That's another one that has a good music video. We'll get to at some point. All right, and then Ass Like That.
3. I love
Number
that
three.
song. That's another song I associate with middle school. It was very big,
Yeah.
and I remember singing it. I never took it as a joke song, though. I took that as a very serious song.
So,
I was young. I was like, yeah.
but then like when he goes like, Hillary Duff's not quite old enough, so I ain't never seen a butt like
I was
that.
young. I thought he
It's
meant
funny.
it. I was like, yeah, I guess. Maybe he's gonna say yes soon and she'll have a nice one. And have you seen her butt?
Yeah, I have.
Like,
Yeah, people talk
insane.
about it.
Like, what? Like,
It's
he was
funny.
right. He was right.
Yes. All right. And then next up, Spend Some Time featuring Obi Trice, Stackpole, and 50 Cent.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like that song. I really like the chorus. I love her
That
voice.
girl, yeah.
It's
Spend some
amazing.
time with
It
me.
sounds so pretty.
Yeah, it
I
is
think I'm
very.
voting number 5 just for the chorus by itself because I just
Yeah,
like it so much, which is fine because I like it.
yeah. Yeah, Obi
It's
Trice.
so pretty.
Yeah, they each talk about their different, Eminem's verse. I
Yeah.
used to say I never met a girl like you before, still ain't got a fucking clue it's who you truly are.
Yeah. And the chorus is good too.
Yeah, the
I love
chorus
the
is cool. It
song.
it is like a pretty
It's very
thing, the
pretty. I
chorus.
like pretty.
Yeah.
I like pretty.
All right. And then on to Mockingbird.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah,
10.
that's lower than I would have guessed.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. Um, it makes me sad. Like
Yes.
I said, I don't like sad songs. I probably would have put it lower because I just really don't like sad songs. But I put it in the middle because I can respect how good of like the rap is. the rapping is and everything, and his verses are really great. But
Yeah.
it's just I was crying in the video. Like, don't watch it. Don't go back and watch it now that I said that. But like, yeah, I just can't.
Yeah, no, that song, I when we did it, it got me choked up too. It was making me teary-eyed, and I was like, "Wow, I've heard this song so many times. I don't know that I ever got that emotional." But
Yeah, I think
because we
because we're
were,
being recorded.
maybe I was gonna say it's because we have the lyrics and we're breaking them down and we're like trying to understand them, and it's like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah,
really is a very emotional song." Yeah,
yeah,
that's a classic Eminem song. It's beautiful. It's crazy, but yeah,
yeah. And I look really
makes me
mad
sad.
in the video. That's just because I'm trying not to cry. I'm just
It's
like,
funny.
don't look at me. Don't look at me.
All right. Then we go into Crazy in Love.
One.
It's your number one song on this
Oh
album.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did we really not realize that?
I
You should
mean, I
all, whoever
figured.
watches our videos like religiously, if you're out there, thank you. We appreciate you. And you
Yes.
should know that that one's probably my favorite on this album.
Yeah. It's a great song.
It's incredible.
Great sample. I like Heart to begin with.
Another like super angsty song where when I was in high school and guys were pissing me off and I'm just like, yeah, like this is our relationship. Like, no, it's not. I'm
Yeah.
like 15. I
Hmm.
don't know anything. This is not my relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not walking around with vibrators in my bag.
Yeah.
Jesus. Who do
Funny.
I think I am?
All right. So that's your number one.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, One Shot, Two Shot. It's
Once
19 total, so you could count from the bottom.
18.
18. So your second least favorite song on this.
I'm sorry. It was too chaotic for me. And also, it didn't make sense. Like, who were the shooters? Number one. Number two,
Wow.
how was it over a parking dispute in the parking lot when the other guy was following the other members of
That
D12
wasn't at the
that was
club.
completely unrelated, not at the club, and then they bring them to the club. So, and it's like over a parking dispute, but then there's also still a shootout. So it's like, I don't think anyone was on the same page with that song
Yeah.
unless I misheard it and misinterpreted it.
No,
But
so there, I agree. There was some confusion. Eminem says it's over a parking spot, and then I forget if it's Swifty that was out on the road, and he's on the phone,
yeah,
and they're like,
and
"Oh, that's the same crew. Somebody just shot at my
yeah.
car," and it's like, okay, but were they just always rival crews? It was confusing.
Or was it did the rival crew just happen to get into a fender bender in the parking lot and then they're like, fuck this, and then they just like
They
shoot up
called.
the
Well,
whole
they
bar?
could have called their friends and be like, "Hey, we're beefing with D12." Yeah. So I don't know. It's creative.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
yeah.
my favorite song on the
It's
album.
funny how he left his wife, then Eminem tries to get his wife, and we're not really sure if he gets her or not. He tries
Yeah, I
though.
don't think
At
so.
least he tried.
Yeah. All right. And then we get into Final Thought, which is the skit, it was actually cool how they do that. It's him, finishing up the show, going backstage, and then he's
Yeah,
reciting his lines. Oh, I forgot you're coming with me. And he crumples up the paper and then he walks out on stage, which is a cool thematic thing.
yeah.
Leads into Encore slash Curtains Down.
1, 2, 3, 6.
Six. Yeah. So
I
this
know
was,
that song.
yeah,
I think I said that when it was playing last, like I recognized it.
yeah,
I had heard that song a very, very, very long time ago.
yeah. I think it might have been a single.
Yeah.
It was
So
good.
I associate that with that song. And when I know a song like that really well and the chorus is good and the raps were good, like it's hard for me to put it too low because I just have that memory of it. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, like I know this song. I can't do that, you know?
Yes. And then, which is part of the same track, it bleeds into Curtains Down, where he says goodnight. He says, I forgot you're coming with me, shoots all of
Mhm.
his
Yep. Kills
fans,
everybody.
kills
It's
his fans,
disturbing.
and then I believe kills himself.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, so that's the end of the standard version of the album, right?
Mhm.
And then there is three bonus songs, which we also did. So next up is We as Americans,
14.
number 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that song is mostly about his him being on probation and the fact that he lost his ability to have guns and firearms, and he talks about that. And then the third verse we find out that he is still secretly walking around with 9 millimeters.
It's funny.
But yeah, the cops fucking with him, all that. We
Yeah.
as Americans.
So I can respect what the song is about. I would be pissed if someone took my guns.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just something about the rap style or the chorus or the beat. It just really wasn't grabbing me.
Yeah.
I wasn't loving it.
Yeah. All right. And then we go into Love You More.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right. So higher up on the album.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. It's kind of like a lesser version of Crazy in Love, like you had said.
Yeah.
So I definitely like it if I can forget the fact that it's pretty much like Crazy in Love,
Yeah.
which is not as intense. But it's good, like when you look at it on its own, like as its own thing, and try and separate that. The fact that it's so much like Crazy in Love is actually not a bad song.
Yeah.
And better than most on this album because some of them were like not the greatest in my
Yeah.
eyes.
So it makes sense to me why it wasn't part of the standard version of the album.
Mhm.
And then last, maybe actually least, Ricky Tikki Tok.
That's the last one. I didn't like that at all.
That's it. So I would actually probably agree with you. That's probably my least favorite song on the album.
Okay.
It's really just like a freestyle. There's no chorus. He's just rapping for rap's sake. He's given some history, you know. But yeah, I'd agree with you. That's probably my
Mhm.
least favorite song
It
on
has
the
the
album.
chorus. The beat's okay. Like it just gets lost on me.
Yeah.
What are your top five?
My top five for this album. Let's see. Okay, without an order, I'm just gonna say it would be like Toy Soldiers. Um, I guess Crazy in Love, Mockingbird, um, Encore, and which ones did I say? I don't even remember what I just
Like
said.
Toy Soldiers, Crazy in Love, Mockingbird, Encore.
And I guess Never Enough. Although I really do fucking love Rain Man. And my first single, I unironically love my first single.
So then they're like top,
Yeah,
top or top middle.
yeah.
Interesting.
So if I had to
We both
say,
like Crazy in Love.
yeah, so if I had to say my favorite song off the album,
Yeah.
it's so cliche, but I might have to say like Toy Soldiers.
Yeah, I figured that's
It's,
your favorite.
yeah, it's very cliche. It might be the most popular song on this album. It was a big
Really?
single, maybe.
More than
Um,
just lose it? It was like on the radio and
so
everything.
so Just Lose It was definitely bigger at the time.
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
like Toy Soldiers, shoulders. Like Toy Soldiers has lasting power. I think
Yeah, yeah, of course.
it's listened to more frequently over time than that. There's no, on Spotify, you can't get the numbers on songs that aren't trending on the top five. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Ironically enough, while we were going through this album, after we started, right in the middle of it, Mockingbird is number one on Spotify of all Eminem songs. Number one. Ahead of Without Me, The Real Slim Shady, Superman Until I
So it
Collapse.
just like picked up in popularity
Just as we were doing this
because
album.
it doesn't have as many listens.
It doesn't. It has 743 million.
And the second one has 1 billion.
Without Me has 1.3 billion. The Real Slim Shady has 1.15 billion.
Superman,
Superman
385 million, then Till I
is
Collapse.
1.48
Hmm,
billion.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and you said the top four
Oh,
four
okay.
albums.
Yes. So Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, The Eminem Show, and Encore.
Okay, I'm gonna need to see um track lists real quick.
Okay, we'll do this real quick. Wow, we're already 34 minutes in. It's a long video.
Damn. Sorry, guys. But you
Okay.
know you like watching
So
us.
Slim Shady LP. My name is Guilty Conscience, Brain Damage, If I Had, 97 Bonnie and Clyde, Role Model, My Fault, Ken Kniff, Come On Everybody, Rock Bottom, Just Don't Give a Fuck, As the World Turns, I'm Shady, Bad Meets Evil, Still Don't Give a Fuck.
Okay.
Marshall Mathers LP, Kill You, Stan, Who Knew, The Way I Am, The Real Slim Shady, Remember Me, I'm Back, Marshall Mathers, Drug Ballad, Amityville, Bitch Please 2, Kim, Under the Influence, and Criminal. Eminem Show, White America, Business, Cleaning Out My Closet, Square Dance, Soldier, Say Goodbye to Hollywood, Drips, Without Me, Sing for the Moment, Superman, Haley's Song, When the Music Stops, Say What You Say, Till I Collapse, My Dad's Gone Crazy,
Okay.
and Encore, which we're just doing.
So this is really funny. Um, oh
Just wait for
God.
the food.
Okay. So this is really funny because hold on, let me pull this down so I can like talk to you guys. So this album, Encore, has more of my favorite Eminem songs than the other albums. But it has way more songs that I don't like. But I can't ignore the fact that it has multiple songs that I really like. So I'm gonna have to say that it's Encore. And then which one has Superman?
The Eminem Show.
The Eminem Show. Which one has Drug Ballad?
Marshall Mathers.
Marshall Mathers. Which is the song that I like on Slim Shady?
I mean, you liked a bunch of them. What was your favorite?
Hold on, let's see.
So again, my name is Guilty Conscience, Brain Damage, If I Had, 97 Bonnie and Clyde, Role Model. Was Role Model your favorite?
Okay,
What's
so
it called?
so it's Encore, The Eminem Show, Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady. It's literally the
Reverse order.
reverse order of when they came out,
Yeah, that's very funny.
which is really funny because all I ever hear is how much people don't like this album, blah, 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 blah. But it has Crazy in Love. It has Cute. It has Ass Like That.
Hmm.
And it has Just Lose It,
Yeah,
which I just like them. So even though it's controversial for me to say it's my favorite out of all four of those, I'm basing it off of how many of my favorite songs are on it.
yeah.
That's all I can really do.
So it's
And
interesting.
that's how I prefer to do it.
If we watch the Eminem Show album review, I'm curious what you put those in order then when you were listening to it.
Oh,
Do you know
yeah.
what I
I
mean?
would
I
need
wonder if
to,
it'll be the same.
yeah,
So
interesting.
for me, just if anybody gives a
Yeah,
fuck,
of course they
my
do.
so I would still say the Marshall Mathers LP is my favorite, then the Eminem Show, then the Slim Shady LP, and then Encore. So far, Encore
Interesting.
would definitely drop down my list as we go on.
So the Eminem Show is both our second favorite.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Um, I will say that I do have a favorite Eminem song of all time, but I'm not going to share that with you guys just yet. And I'm not going to tell you if I've reacted to it yet or not.
Yeah.
But you will know eventually.
Oh, I will say,
Eventually.
so the next album is Relapse, which is by far my favorite album. We're gonna do that, but we're gonna stick with our thing of in between albums, we do a few non-album tracks.
Yeah.
This time it's gonna be a little weird because there is Curtain Call the Hits, right, which was released after this, and there's two songs on there that aren't on any of the other albums. So we're gonna have to react
Interesting.
to those.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do one other song that's a non-album track. If you guys have suggestions, which
Yeah.
one that we haven't done yet, let us know. Non-Eminem album track. Hopefully we'll get to that before
And
we get
then
into
some
Relapse.
non-Eminem songs.
Yeah, we keep saying that.
I
We're
know, but
not
you
gonna
have to do at least one.
we will yeah, maybe we'll do one before we
Maybe I'll take one for the team and do a Tupac song we'll just have
instead
James do two songs to show me instead of my rock song.
of all right.
Okay, because I know a lot of people have been like Tupac, and then one of you, I don't remember your name, I'm so sorry, but you keep saying that you're requesting Tupac and we're still not doing it. So we're gonna do it.
We
I
will.
promise. This is the second time I've said this, but we're gonna do it. It's
Yes.
coming like tomorrow, or the day
Maybe.
after tomorrow, or
Maybe.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay?
This week.
Yeah,
All right.
this upcoming week.
All right.
All
So
right.
we will see you guys soon.
Yes. See you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.